Thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to discuss the actions that my administration is taking to explore options to address improving trash removal, illegal dumping, blight management, cost containment, and quality of delivery of services for both our residents and our business community. Yesterday, we issued an RFP for solid waste and recycling collection and disposable services citywide in the city of Harrisburg. That proposal is due back into our possession from those particular applicants by June 14th at 3 p.m. At that time, my administration and I will review all proposals in a legal process that will clarify our options and determine our future actions in the vital area of public works, service to our citizens and our business community. These proposals will be reviewed to determine how and if we will implement a completely new and revitalized system by January of 2014. We are soliciting comprehensive sealed proposals to contract for solid waste and recycling collection and disposable services for single-family, multifamily, and commercial properties within the city of Harrisburg, as well as solid waste and recycling collection at all city facilities. This is about who can best deliver quality of services for both residents, landlords, and commercial business living and working in our city. We will look at 3 proposal options from each contractor. One will include solid waste and recycling services for single-family homes only. The second option will include solid waste and recycling collection services for multifamily and commercial properties only. And 3, we will include solid waste and recycling services for all single-family, multifamily, and commercial properties in the city of Harrisburg. We ask all responsible firms and contractors to submit their proposals. These 3 options will allow my administration to determine the best possible system to address our community needs. We are entering into this action for 3 reasons. Our first reason is that we're looking for an efficient and effective collection, recycling, and disposable system that will better serve our citizens and neighbors and, again, our business community. Number 2, we are looking for to reduce the city's structural deficits in relation to cost containment, balancing our city budgets, as called for in the Act 47 Recovery Plan, and tightening up our internal operations. I am determined, as I have promised the citizens of this city, to move our city beyond the oppressive incinerator debt and failures of the past, and beyond the history of hidden structural deficits that have weakened and diluted our budgeting process year after year. And number 3, this is part of an overall strategy to end blight and focus on economic revitalization in our neighborhoods that have often been divested over the last 25 years. We face a challenge, of course. None of this is easy, but we have faced challenges together through this administration, and we have overcome each one of those challenges because, in the end, we work together. I think this is a first step in the process that we will attract the kind of 21st century services we need in this city to prepare for a better future. And so in the interim, while we go through the proposal process, our Public Works Department, working with City Council members, has been working on completing and developing a plan to improve solid waste and recycling collection. You've heard that, and some of you have reported out on that process. We are providing 1 recycling container per household, and we are focused on management. We will soon establish, and I'm hoping to be able to have this discussion going forward, a free day. I'm hoping to get a free day at the incinerator, maybe 1 day a month on a Sunday, where citizens can dispose of their waste material at the incinerator free of charge. Now, of course, that's going to take some real delicate discussions and negotiations with the Harrisburg Incinerator, Covanta, and also the Harrisburg Authority. But I think if we're all trying to put our hands on deck and show that we want to help reduce the burden on our taxpayers, then I don't think this would be a hard task of asking for 1 free day to help us clean up our neighborhoods. And perhaps, again, we can have that day on a Sunday. So again, I will ask the Board of Directors at the Harrisburg Authority, as well as involving Covanta at the incinerator who manages the facility, to see if we can get this done. Additionally, we will expand our the blight initiative strategies as part of the city's neighborhood safe zone program. Hopefully this is all can be entwined into our discussions going forward. We will be pursuing illegal dumpers. As you know, we've been out there in our neighborhood safe zone pursuing illegal dumpers and also citing property owners as we know necessary. And we are very serious about getting rid of this cancerous and the cancerous leeches that are in our community, causing all types of bad quality of life. So we will continue to commit ourselves to the fullest extent. We also will be soon meeting with District Attorney Ed Marsick. We had a meeting with him last week to discuss the finalization of these cameras. Him and I will be holding a press conference soon to announce who the vendor is and also the actual time that the cameras will be installed. His projection date that we should have the cameras installed by May, but we will be having a press conference to be more definitive of that actual installation of the cameras. So again, I'm very excited about that. This will also aid us in catching not only the criminal perpetrator, but also the illegal dumper perpetrator. And so with that being stated, we're prepared now to answer any questions from the media relevant to the RFP announcement today.
System right now, the recycling system, solid waste disposal system that you have in place right now, and why is it not working?
We never said it wasn't working.
Well,
this is all a part of
improved?
This is all part of cost containment. You know, there's always room for 21st century ways of doing business. And this is our way of exploring our options. That's why I said this is not etched in stone. This is our way of exploring our options. Are there companies out there that have 21st century ways of doing business? If they are, we want to know about them. And this is the process in which we do it. If they produce a quality proposal that says they can do X, Y, Z, and it's all about cost containment and quality of services, and at the same time making it a new and improved system and being able to better perform in terms of service delivery and quality of life, then we're certainly open-minded for that. Because again, we took on this this leadership role to do things differently in the city of Harrisburg, and we started that in 2010, and it's leading all the way up to 2013 and into 2014.
How much is it costing the city every year? What's allocated in the budget to go towards recycling and solid waste disposal?
Sanitation budget. I mean, its public works budget is a large budget, and sanitation and recycling and all that is broken down into different line items. So I would have to get you those specific line items because they're all broken down according to service delivery. So I'll have to get you that after the press conference.
Mayor, what would you envision, if at all? A lot of communities will have a quarterly, maybe monthly or quarterly large trash pickup. If somebody's got an old sofa, a refrigerator, that type of thing. They just pick it up from their street in front of their house. I noticed something I'd like at my house. Do you envision that coming anytime in the foreseeable future?
Well, actually, we do have something like that in place. We did something like that in 2010, and I do remember we did something like that under the prior administration. Quite frankly, in 2009, I put $100,000 in the budget to let the prior administration have 1 day of illegal bulk pickup. We did it in 2010, but we did it in a concentrated way. We didn't make it publicly known because we were afraid of outsiders coming in and just dumping and creating a more massive problem for us. So what we did was we did it by sections of the neighborhood. We went out and we put flyers in their doors and told them we would be out this day, so if you have any bulk dumping, leave it on the curb and we'll get it.
I would certainly want that.
Yeah, so that went over pretty well. As we began to downsize our government, it made it more difficult to manage such a program. But what we did do was we partnered with 35 churches. It was called Love Harrisburg, and they'll be back in here again this April. And Love Harrisburg is a group of regional ministers that bring their congregation members in with their brooms, their weed whackers, their pickup trucks, their trash bags, and every other piece of equipment that they have accessible in their own personal homes. They come into our city and they go up into the back corridors, particularly in South Allison, Harrisburg. And we were there for 6 months every Saturday. And my staff and we got out there and we were a part of the cleanup. So we cleaned up those back alleys. Again, you know, we have already a service that we provide. We tell individuals that if you have bulk pickup and you're emptying out your house for a refrigerator, a stove, or a couch, you are to call Public Works. And people are already utilizing that service. However, depending on how large your bulk pickup is, you will be charged. So we already have a service like that in place. And a lot of times we don't even charge, we just go out there and get it. Because a lot of times people aren't honoring the system, they're just putting it out there. That's why we have the neighborhood safe zone, so that when our cops go in there to open up those corridors for law enforcement purposes, then we go back 2 days later with codes enforcement, and we begin to identify those houses that are in violation of our existing codes and ordinances. And then on the third or the fourth day, we send Public Works in there to look at all the illegal dumping. And we already have a partnership with the Dauphin County Probation and Parole, who under this neighborhood safe zone have been going in there with us and getting all that stuff up off the street. So.
Let me ask you one other thing. We had a report that a gentleman was telling us on 12th Street that sewage was backing up into his basement as an ongoing problem. Do you have any reports of that on 12th Street, or someone in Public Works talked to us about that later today?
It was basically grease.
Oh, yeah, Kevin just said he went out and did an assessment and found out it was basically grease.
Oh, it's basically
Yeah, I mean, there's a section of the city, particularly when the Harrisburg housing, and this has been going on for years. I can remember this when I was chair of Public Works. We would get a lot of complaints about people's system backing up, only to find out that the Harrisburg housing residents were just putting everything down their commode, you know, and dumping grease down their toilets and all types of improper disposal of material, and was clogging up those pipes. So Kevin said he assessed it, and it was grease that was backed up.
A couple of other things since we've
Not appears to be, it is. He went out and assessed it. Yeah, it is grease.
Let me ask you a couple other things here. We understand that a man last night was shot in the groin at 3rd and Boaz Street at about 12:30. We had indications that this was a city police officer, and even my news department is telling me that he might have been self-inflicted. Do you have any information?
I haven't gotten any reports from Chief Ritter on anything that you're discussing here today about a potential officer being injured and being self-afflicted allegedly. So I'm not apprised of that.
Last thing I have for you, Mayor, is you, of course, are involved in Mayors Against Illegal Guns ads that have been targeting Senator Toomey. Apparently, there have been some Mayors Against Illegal Gun ads that has come up. Have you seen the ads?
No, I haven't. I'm not familiar with any ads targeting Senator Toomey. I haven't seen them. I haven't been a part of them. I've been a part of the Mayors of Illegal Guns for the last 4 years. I'm very proud to be a part of that. We proposed 3 top priorities. One, to call for universal background checks, particularly targeting felons, also mentally challenged individuals, and also domestic abusers. So we can close the loopholes. We're also calling for the ban of high-capacity assault weapons, 11 rounds or more, and we're also calling for what was the third one? Universal background checks, capacity weapons, and I can't remember the third one. But I'm very proud to be a part of that global movement. I'm not aware of any attack on any elected officials.
So you haven't seen the ads, or you haven't?
Haven't seen them, and haven't seen them. Have not personally endorsed them. I am a part of a global initiative, and I'm very proud to stand behind that initiative.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Immediately provide the exact budget, but is the idea, is it possible that we will be paying more for
This process is about, as I said, looking at our options to see if there's anyone out there that can provide a 21st century system that would provide new and improved quality delivery services to both our residents and our business community. And also to look at cost containment and running our government more effectively and efficiently. Certainly, we don't go out for an RFP to contract out with any developer that's going to charge more money to our taxpayers. That's never our goal. Those goals are just elaborated why we're going out for an RFP, and nothing's etched in stone.
Mayor, can you talk a little bit more about the free day at the Harrisburg incinerator and why this is such a positive aspect if you could get it go through?
Well, you know, we're always looking for ways to lessen the burden on our taxpayers. And we realize that this is a monster that has been in existence for years. And where there are multiple perpetrators of not respecting the quality of life in our community. And those multiple perpetrators are individuals who come from out don't live in the city, but come in our city and find it to be a waste dump because they want to escape the charges from the incinerator. Then you have the contractor that comes in here and is paid by a landlord to renovate a property that he just purchased, and he wants to get it renovated real quickly to get a renter in there so he can make quick money. So he takes his construction debris and he puts it in big, huge commercial bags and he dumps it on the corner and expects our sanitation guys to pick it up, and then animals get in it, tear it open, and it becomes a big, huge waste. Then you have those residents and landlords. A landlord evicts a tenant because of non-payment of rent that just takes their stuff out of that apartment and dumps it on the corner. Then you have a resident and or a homeowner who decides if they have a broken couch, a non-operable refrigerator or stove, and decided to just dump it on the corner. So we have multiple elements. So we're saying it's hard to catch them. Then we have the pickup guy who has a pickup truck who is not employed and is trying to make a quick living, that will go and knock on Miss Johnson's door, and she will pay him to get the stuff out of her basement, and then he'll put it in his truck, he'll wait all day, and then go into our back alleys at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning and dump it. So since we have so many perpetrators of this illegal dumping, we look to see how they could be more respectful and more proactive to help dispose of that in a proper way. So that's why I'm calling for a free day.
So it's not just Harrisburg residents, it's those on the outside, just to get anybody who has the junk rather than dump it in the city to take it.
Well, we really want, certainly our goal is to make sure that most of the people do it, are living in the city of Harrisburg and doing business in the city of Harrisburg. We're not opening up our floodgates for, some scumbag that comes from Perry County who got the money and pocketed it and comes here and wants to dump it for free. So there's a way to try to regulate. That's why I said it's about skillfully negotiating with the Harrisburg Authority and also Cavanna how we can put checks and balances in there.
How do you think they will receive that idea?
I think the residents would love it. We had, we still have particularly elderly people, who don't have, family members that can help them, dispose of some of the old furniture that they no longer need. And sometimes it's just a matter of people this time of the year. I remember growing up when the city did do this all the time. And my parents would gather all of us. There were 8 of us in that house, and she made everybody go down the basement and pull out the stuff that we didn't use and put it on the sidewalk, and the city would come by and get it. So it's just really taken us back to, some of the things I remember we did here. But again, we are different today because again, we're in this big financial challenge, and we're having to do more with less, and so we have to be very careful how we move forward with things like that.
Do you think the authority will be open to the idea? Would they even
I can't imagine why they wouldn't be. The board members live in the city, they see it, they feel it, just as we do. It's a quality of life issue, so I would hope that they would embrace this and be on board.
Mayor, I'm just a little behind. You mentioned on the cameras issue. Could you just give me a thumbnail sketch of just in a few seconds what that camera issue that you mentioned with the DA
Well, we submitted a proposal to District Attorney Ed Marsico, who has committed to identifying funding, and he's already identified that funding. We submitted a $500,000 proposal. We've been working with the District Attorney's Office for the last year and a half now on getting these cameras installed. Purpose is multi-pronged. 2 main priorities is to be able to address perpetrators of crime in those targeted areas, and also to try to catch illegal dumpers. And we're just getting around to, they went out for an RFP, as the District Attorney told me, and it's been quite a challenge for them. And so they finally have the process done, and he'll be joining me to announce who the vendor is and also the installation time of the cameras. We already got the area surveyed. We already know where the cameras are going. We have signs made up indicating that surveillance cameras are in here. So all that is done. It's just a matter of now getting the installation of the cameras, and we hope to have it.
The number of how many cameras are being placed for that?
I think there's probably 10 or 12 cameras.
And
Yeah.
it's not just going to be downtown, they're going to be in targeted.
Oh, no, you better believe it. They're in targeted areas where they belong. Yeah. Yes, that process is all done. That's why I said I'm meeting with District Attorney to announce the vendor. Yes, it's done.
Mayor, can you talk more about the recycling? I know you briefly mentioned that families will get a recycling container for free. What's the process right now?
Kevin, you want to talk about it because you've really been heading that piece.
Process basically the same day the trash route, we run the same route with a recycling truck and pick up recycling in the blue bins. So if you're on a Monday route, you put out your recycling on Monday and we'll come by and pick it up.
Those containers currently are not free, right?
That's
Yes,
correct.
they are.
Well, they were charging $5.
Yeah.
They're free now.
Now
they're free.
Yes.
The prior administration was charging.
Okay, gotcha. Have you found, do a lot of people recycle in Harrisburg or they don't? What have you seen?
Well, I mean, I like to believe that responsible individuals do recycle. However, there's still a lot more room to grow. I mean, if you go out on a recycling day, you'll see the blue container outside in most homeowners. Most of the homeowners in certain sections of the city are responsible in recycling. It's when you get to the low to moderate, most impoverished neighborhoods where you don't see a lot of that. But even in those neighborhoods, you see sketchy recycling bins. So again, it's not just isolated to residential. We're talking about businesses too, and encouraging them to recycle, like our hospitals and our school district in particular. I know when I sat on City Council's public works chairs, we were also advocating for more efforts to be done for recycling, and we found out that hotels and hospitals don't do a good job at recycling. So it's not just residential units, it's everybody.
So the resolution that was read into record yesterday, but that one is for everyone to get free recycling containers.
We have 4,000 recycling bins in stock, and we're trying to deplete that stock. And so all those stocks, all that stock is free.
Mayor, can you talk about the Dairy Street Neighborhood Safe Zone? When you plan on launching that?
It was launched yesterday. We tried to get a hold of you. Yeah, it was launched yesterday at 10. It went over well. I was out there. You guys were covering obviously the accident with the kid and yeah. And I tried to stop you. I saw you on Berry Hill. I was blowing the horn. That was me. And you wouldn't even look at me. I said that she's going to miss the story now. I was on my way to the neighborhood safe zone. I said she's going to miss the story. She's over here covering something else. Okay. Tried to help you out, Portia.
All right, well, how did it go, actually?
I went out, and again, it was just the same kind of response, natural. One gentleman stopped and rolled down his window and said, "Mayor, thank you. I feel safe, and I don't have to look over my shoulders." And it's something that they wanted for years. Little kids stopped me and told me about the gun, the gentleman that died in front of that convenience store a couple weeks ago, and said they literally witnessed that, and that they're glad that we got the guy off the street, and they're happy that their cops are out there. So.
I know you mentioned that a Dairy Street area is going to be the most challenging.
Well, not just Dairy; it's that whole corridor out there, because there's other back streets that we were penetrating on, and we've had quite a number of drug busts out there in that area.
Are your guys going to be out there every day?
Our guys are going to be out there, as we said this week. When last week we told you we were going to debrief, and then after we debrief, we were going to determine when we're going to start it. So we started it yesterday, and our guys will be out there for another week and a half and determine, how much we have to penetrate. This is not a hit and run. We're going to continue to have to go back to that section of the city. As we said, we will not leave these neighborhoods left. We're not going to rest on our laurels, so we're going to be in there penetrating and continue to use the same process we used at 19th Street. And I'm still hearing from people on 19th Street that is still quiet. One of the most interesting things I saw yesterday, that's the area, one of the areas that the captains and the chief and I walk on every other Thursday. We started this walk 2 years ago, to walk the neighborhoods, to build relationships, to show people that leadership was out there. And that's an area where drug dealers are just brazen. They'll sell drugs on an open corner. Yesterday, it was so amazing because it's usually swarming with individuals. You could barely, well, let's just say you could barely count people on your hands because that's how empty those streets were. So obviously the news we released that we were coming out there took them underground. And that's why I said we're not going to be announcing anymore that we're coming.
And that Dairy Street corridor includes, what are the streets?
16, 15, 14, 13, and then there's some back streets, Kittentani, Naudane, those places like that.
Do you have any idea how many citations for code violations when the 19th Street area?
Yeah, you missed the press conference. We gave a thorough report. We will do follow-ups after we close, after we move from, we're in neighborhood safety zone 2 now. Okay. So once we leave out of there, we'll have a follow-up with the media to let you know what we did. If my memory serves me well, we gave out, I think, 19 or 17 citations, traffic citations. We had 3 guns off the street, illegal guns off the street, and we did 65 code inspections and gave some citations for non-rental inspections, and I think that pretty much covers it. in terms of what we did in law enforcement, codes enforcement, and we picked up 4 tons of illegal dumping.
Just as a sidebar, something that's very effective out there, I saw a couple of your officers performing very well. They were really engaging the neighborhood children, playing with them, playing ball, doing that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And I think those are the kind of things, you know, as a city resident, just on a personal basis, I think make a real impact. So some of your officers really, I thought did an outstanding job. Not just sitting in the cars, being there, but engaging, especially with the kids.
No, these guys live, breathe, and eat that. These are the special units that we have out there all the time. So they're no strangers to this. And again, some of them ride bikes with me, so they're used to, you know, getting out there and engaging the kids and the residents. It just makes for better sense for data collection. People tend to trust you and they can give you inside information. So thank you for that compliment and observation. It's always good to hear, especially from a media person. That's it. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you.
Thank you.